As we enter the year, we are supposedly getting the Nintendo Switch 2. It looks like we might have just gotten some details as to when and where we could actually expect it. But let's break this all down. Up next. What up, guys? This is KLO, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. The Nintendo Switch 2 is no doubt going to be one of the biggest stories of 2024. And watch, I just jinxed that. As we break into this new year, it looks like there has been even more discussion around this console. More specifically, the console's price and when we could actually get our hands on it. So in case you're kind of new to this whole thing, the big question around this console is what it's actually going to look like. We all know Nintendo likes to switch things up when it comes to their consoles and as far as their console's gimmick goes. In the past, we've gotten consoles like the DS with the dual screens, the 3DS with its 3D features, and let's not forget the Wii with its motion controls. And keeping all of that in mind, people are rather interested to see where Nintendo takes this next console. Well, according to Dr. Sir Kentoto, he actually thinks there's not going to be too much change here. Quote, the next system is also likely to be an iteration rather than a revolution. Nintendo might add some bells and whistles to this device, but it will be similar to the current Switch. At first, this might seem like a rather lackluster quote, but personally, I'd be rather thrilled if Nintendo just took the current Switch and just kind of improved its weak spots. And based off what you guys have been saying when we talk about the Switch 2, you do feel the same way. The Switch's design as we know it, it's pretty fantastic. It's portable, it's pretty easy to hold for long play sessions, and it blends the two things that Nintendo is good at, like the classic home gaming console experience with their handheld expertise. And a rather under-the-radar thing that isn't talked about enough here is the idea the Switch alone allowed all of Nintendo studios to work on and create games for a single console, instead of being stretched out over a totally separate handheld and home console. And to kind of be more basic, when I look back on previous Nintendo consoles I did purchase over the years, it's not really the gimmicks I tend to remember outside of the Wii. Instead, I only really look back at the games and if they were good or not. Now, another big thing to talk about when we look at a new console is the console's price point. And Dr. Sir Kentoto might have hinted at just that. Quote, I believe the next hardware will drop in 2024 for $400. There is a high chance the games will cost more, to $70. Now that $400 price point doesn't sound too crazy, and of course with the console's alleged higher end performance, $70 games don't sound too crazy here either. Let's not forget, Tears of the Kingdom released at this price point and went on to be one of the best-selling games of last year. And I think at the end of the day, if this console outperforms the current Switch and showcases this upgrade is a meaningful one, that $400 price tag will prove its worth in no time. Plus, this system was often compared to the PS4 as far as performance goes. Keeping that in mind, titles like Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, and The Last of Us Part 2 all looked amazing on that console. So if the Switch can even pull off those games in handheld mode, I honestly think Nintendo might have something truly special on their hands. But with all that being said, I'm going to pass this question off to you guys. What are your expectations for the Switch 2, and when do you think we're going to get it? But that about does it here. I've been KLO. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.